Hey, what's up everybody, what's going on? Welcome and welcome back to IT Skills Academy. This is John. Big up to everybody who have subscribed to this channel, that means a lot to me. If you have not done that yet, kindly smash that subscribe button, turn that notification bell on so that you get notified every time we release a new video. So currently we are majoring on PHP Project, so if this is something that you may not want to miss, I would request that you do smash that subscribe button, turn that notification bell so that you get notified every time we release a new video, and this is mostly on Tuesday and Thursday of every week. So in this video we are creating the pharmacy management system, and we have gone along. This is part 8. So if this is your first time here, I would suggest that you watch the other 7 videos. I will leave a link to the playlist in the description of this video so that you can get back there, watch all those videos so that we can be in the same page. So in this part 8 of how to create a pharmacy management system, we are basically editing and deleting the pharmacy stock that we entered in the previous video. And so without wasting a second, let's get this started, shall we? So the first thing that we want to do is to create the form that we are going to use to update the pharmacy stock. So we create a page and call it update_pharmacy_stock.php. So this is where we are going to have the form. And to get started, we are going to come and grab this template, which is just an empty page. So just have the skeleton of the page that we want. So I grab the code in this template, just copy that, and I want to come and just paste it within the form, or within the page that we have just created rather. So here we want to come and edit a few things. Let's just create some space here. So let me just get rid of this and give it a meaningful name, that is update pharmacy stock. Oh John, that is pharmacy. Well, you need to collect that. All right, so that should be pharmacy. Okay, that's right. We want to see how that looks on a browser, so let me just show you what we have so far. So we get to Google Chrome, we rename this page to update_pharmacy_stock.php. we refresh that to see what we got so far. So that's what we have, update pharmacy stock, and we want to come and have the form down here. So we are getting back to Visual Studio, and I want to just come and get rid of this so that we have some meaningful information. And let me just come and comment this out and say that here we are going to come and have the update pharmacy stock form. So that is update pharmacy. All right, that should be pharmacy stock form. All right, and now down here we want to come and create a row. So we are utilizing Bootstrap, remember. So I create a div with a class of row. I create another div with a class of col12. If you know Bootstrap, you know that's a column that we've just created there within a row. We also create the card, so I create a div with a class of card. I also want to come and have a card body, so I create another div with a class of card body. Within that, we want to come and have the card title, so I create another div with a class of card title. So, and then within that we are going to come and have the title, so I create a h4 element with a class of card title. And now within that we are going to come and have the name update pharmacy stock. Right, that's look great. So all right, so it is within the card body that we are going to create the form. So what we do here is we create the form, but first, before we do that, I can just comment this out and say the update pharmacy form starts here. Yeah, just to give it some sense of direction. Cool. So the form starts here. So basically we are just creating a form, and it should have a method of post. We will be getting back to the action later. So let's first deal with the form. So we want to come and have the label and the input. So I wrap that within a div which will have a class of form group. So I will first of all have the label. That should be for what? You guessed it right, medicine name. So I should also come and have well, make it fast, medicine name inside here. Great. So now below that we want now to come and have the input field, so just below the label. Just getting some things ready here. Okay, so down there we want to come and have the input. That should be what input with the type of text. Should give it a class, so that should be form control. Yeah, just to style it a little bit there. So that's a bootstrap class, form control. Cool. So we should also give it something else. So no, I don't hope so. So we want several of these. So what I'm just going to do is I will duplicate it several times, and then I just edit it a little bit just to save us a few seconds here. So I rename these to a medicine type, and also the label should be for medicine type as well. Yeah, and let me make these edits and I'll be back. So we'll also come and add the names. So this will help us in the PHP so that we can be able to grab the information in every field that we have here. So I'm adding the names. So this should be names for all the fields that we have here. That is for the price, pharmacy stock, expiry date, capacity, medicine type, and medicine name. So let me fix this. Alright, that looks great. So the names, remember, will not be visible on the PHP form. So now that looks great. So we are now creating the button here that will help us to submit the information. So I'm creating a button here with the type of submit. I'll give it a class, that is bootstrap class, of course, with which should be btn success. I also want it to be block, so I also give it the class btn block. That makes it fit the whole available space. And the name should be update pharmacy. Oh, stock, don't forget that. Okay, so that looks great. So we can see how it looks on a browser, and that looks great. So we have the form there that we'll be using to edit or update our records with a cool button down there, update pharmacy stock. That looks great. So now we want to now have the PHP script that will help us to actualize this. So I'm going to come and have it below down here. So just come and have a comment here. And what should we have here? Oh, you guessed it right, PHP script that will help us to grab the information based on the ID of the selected medicine, right? Well, so we get back to the pharmacy stock because we want to come and grab the ID. Remember, we created the select query that will help us to select the pharmacy stock from the database, and one of the records was ID. So I want to pass that via the URL. So I will pass that using this button here, the edit. So I'm getting to the href and I'm giving the name of the form or the page where we have the form. So that is update underscore pharmacy underscore stock.php, and because I want to grab the ID, I say or I put a question mark, ID is equals to, and here I'm basically calling the ID. So this is how we basically pass an ID or a record via the URL. So if I get back to that table, I refresh that. If I point this button edit, I should see just down below here the ID of that specific record, and that is working fine. So we get back to the Visual Studio, and under the update underscore pharmacy stock, we want to now come and get that specific ID in the update underscore pharmacy underscore stock.php from the pharmacy stock, of course. So here I can just come and comment and say we are getting the ID of the record, or get the record ID, put it right. So I'm using the if statement, and if is set get, I'm using the get method because getting the information via the link or via the URL. So I'm getting the ID there, so I'm setting ID is equals to get ID. That helps me to get the specific ID. And down here, basically what I'm doing is I'm creating a select query that will fetch data from the database given the ID that I've got on top there. So to save us time, if you've been following this tutorial, you know that we have already created a select query that is selecting pharmacy stock from the database. So to save time, I'll just come and grab it and have it in our update underscore pharmacy underscore stock, and just edit it a little bit. So this is how it looks like. This is how it looks like, just in case you've not seen it, or just in case you've forgotten. Be a human. So I'll just come and paste it here, and I'll just change a few things. So basically I'm just grab this and bring it somewhere here, so that it looks cool and clean. All right, so that is looking great down there. Now we also want to be able to fix the HTML code within this PHP script. So to be able to do that, as we did in a previous video, we want to come and terminate the PHP tag and also open it as well. So this should be small letters. So I'm going to come and have now the PHP or the HTML code within here where we are having the cursor. So here we are going to come and embed the HTML form here. So this way we will be able to get the records based on the ID. So I'm just emphasizing that this is how we fix HTML code within PHP. So just close the HTML, the PHP tag rather, and open it. So I'm grabbing the form that we have down here up to the point where we have the button. So I want to get rid of that, so I cut it, and I'm going to come and fix it just within here. So just paste it inside there. So remember the form is outside, so here we just have the label and the input. Alright, so let us get rid of this. We'll be getting back to this a moment later. Right, so I think it's the time that we can now check what we have so far on the browser. So just head on to Chrome, and then on the pharmacy stock we refresh that, hit on the edit button, and we have a problem. So let's get back to the Visual Studio Code and see what is up. What is the problem? We forgot to connect to the database, so we need to require the connection to the database somewhere here. I just think that is what is giving us a problem. So let us try to fix that. So here say require the folder. Terminate that there with a semicolon. Sorry, this should be require, typo there. Okay, so that hope should fix the problem. So let's see if that is solved. So we refresh that. Great, and we are getting the 2 records that we have from the database, but remember we need 1. So to be able to fix that problem, we are going to get back to the select query and say that we want to select all from the pharmacy stock where ID is the ID that we are getting on top there. So we refresh that, we refresh that again. That is, we hit on the edit button, and now as you can see we are only getting 1 record based on the ID. So now after that, we want now to come and echo the specific records of that specific medicine. So I'm just going to come and have that within a value. So create PHP tags, opening and closing, and then we echo the medicine name. And we are going to have the same in all the other fields. So I grab that and paste it in the medicine type. I paste it in the capacity, and what I'll be doing later is just to edit it. So that is to just help us to save a few seconds here. And just to remind you, if you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly hit that subscribe button, click the notification bell, so that you can be able to be notified when we release such content. That is, if you are enjoying what we are doing here. Great, so may God bless you as you're doing that. So that, as you know, greatly helps me to create more content in the future. So basically what we are just doing here is to edit so that we are able to get the records based on the ID. So we are saying medicine type. Oh, sorry, that should be type. That is what we have in the database. Okay, so let's refresh. So get back to the pharmacy stock table. We refresh that, we hit on the edit, and okay, we are getting all the records good, but with the exemption of the pharmacy quantity. Let's see what's the problem. Oh, sorry, this should be pharmacy quantity, not stock. So let's just change that there, quantity. That's what we have in the database. We get back to Google Chrome, we refresh that, and that is fixed. Great. So now it's time to now do what we so let's just allege a few things here. So I just want to have all the code visible to you so that you can be able to follow along and compare my code with yours, just in case something is not working on your end. And remember, you can always have the questions in the comments below, and I'll be more than glad to respond to your questions, or even give you reference to where you can be able to get help, just in case I don't know how to fix your problem. Okay, so that looks great. That is all the code that we're having there, that is helping us just to get the specific information or medicine information given a specific ID. So here we are getting back to the action, and we'll just having the link to the page that we have not yet created, that is app_pharmacy_ stock.php. So let's create that page within the includes. So new page, app_update pharmacy stock.php. So the UP is just short of update, just thought that I should give it a different name. So there we have it. It's an empty page, of course. Alright, so just to save us a few seconds, what I'll do is I'll just come and grab the script that we use to insert the data into the database, because the code to insert the data into the database and that to update the records into all from the database are more or less the same. So I grab the information or the script and paste it in the app_pharmacy_stock.php, and I'll just come and edit a little bit. So this one, instead of being insert, it should be update. And that's the only difference, and that's why I just copied that information over there. So, and the only difference again, or the other difference here is when you're updating, you should state that where the ID is a specific ID number, so that you don't delete all the records. So we're just saying update store, set the medicine name to medicine name, capacity to capacity, type to medicine type, where the ID is the ID that we'll be getting from the update underscore pharmacy underscore stock.php. That is the previous page. So here we'll be updating two records, or we'll be updating two tables rather. That is the pharmacy stock and the store. So that's my version. You can do it your own way, but in my case I'm having the records in two tables, the store, that is the pharmacy store, and the medicine in the shelves, what I'm calling the pharmacy stock. So just in case something needs to be changed, that should reflect in both the store and the pharmacy stock, except the stock itself, but if it is the name, that should apply across two tables. Yeah, again, as I've said, with the exemption of the stock. So the pharmacy stock will always maybe be different from that of the store. Okay, so I hope you get the sense, or you get what I mean here. So basically we also want to come and edit the expiry date as well. So that's why we are fixing the expiry date down here. So for both the pharmacy stock and the store as well. So here we'll just be updating 4 records, that is medicine name, capacity, type, and expiry date. Yeah, with the exemption of price, quantity, yeah, and all that. Okay, so we should also say if all that is successful, we should be redirected to the pharmacy underscore stock.php. So that is where we should see if the code is working fine, if everything was done as we would expect. So we refresh that and we click on edit, and here we can just come and make a few changes to the medicine name. So let me just add some few stuff here. Okay, that should be enough. We click on update pharmacy stock. Oops, we're getting a problem here. The URL, what's the problem? Let's get back to the Visual Studio Code. This should be what? Update pharmacy stock. Oh, sorry, we made a typo somewhere. So let's just come and rename that, see if it fixes the problem. So this should be pharmacy and not pharmacy, or whatever. Yes, so that's good. That I hope should fix the problem, as you can see. Okay, so we get back to the Google Chrome update stock page. We refresh that. We try to give it some different names here. That's great. We update. Great, and that's working fine. As you can see there, we were able to successfully edit the record. So now let's head on to the delete. So we get to the update pharmacy stock, or rather the pharmacy stock. So let me just get rid of a few stuff here. Okay, so we get to what? The pharmacy stock. Yes, and here we want to come and create some space. Okay, so we want to come down here in the delete button, and here we want to come and have the delete underscore pharmacy underscore stock. This is a page that we have not yet created, but we'll be creating it in a second. So update, rather delete underscore pharmacy underscore stock.php. We also want to pass the ID of the records, or the record that the user wants to delete. So we are echoing the ID here. Okay, that's great. So we get to Google Chrome, we refresh that, see if we are getting the ID. Cool. As you can see from down here, we're able to get the ID. Great. Back to the Visual Studio Code, and now we create the delete underscore pharmacy underscore stock.php. Great. And this is just an empty page, as you can see. And again, just to save us time, we are going to grab the code that we have used again to update the records, because again the code to delete and update will be more or less the same. We can just change a few things. So I paste the code in the delete underscore stock.php, and here instead of a post, we want to get the ID, or we are getting the ID via the URL. So you'll be using the get method. And we don't want all of this, so we just need the ID. And this should be get and not post. So we just want to get the ID of the medicine that the user want to delete its records. And so here the query should be delete from store, where the ID is the ID that we are getting from on top there. So we don't need the medicine name, we don't need the capacity, we don't need the expiry date, we don't need all that. So we should get rid of that. Yeah, and remember we are deleting the records again from the pharmacy stock and from the store as well. So we are deleting the information from the two tables where it is existing. So that looks fine. Let's refresh that and see if we are able to delete the record. So hit on delete. Oops, again we have the same problem. What's up? Okay, so the URL again. So let's get back to the pharmacy stock and see where do we have here. Delete underscore pharmacy .php. Okay, this should be inside the includes. Let me see. Yes, so the includes should have an S. Okay, so let's see if that fixes the problem. So we get back, refresh that, hit on delete. Oops, we still have the problem. What should be the problem? What's up, what's going on here? Just a second as I see what the problem could be. Okay. So this happens. Okay, oh, we have a typo somewhere here again with the pharmacy. I beg your pardon. I'm having a problem with the spelling of the word pharmacy. That is costing me a lot. All right, I hope you understand. So that should be working fine. So this is what should be there. So update or delete underscore pharmacy stock. We refresh that. We now try to see if that works. Hit on delete. Oh, finally that deletes the record. Yeah, so and that's how you can be able to update and delete records from the database. Hope the video was useful to you. If it was, kindly give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you have not subscribed to this channel, so that you can get these and more cool videos in future. So see you in the next one. As usual, stay safe.